Hello, everyone. Welcome to our wonderful time together. Can you see me and hear me okay? Say something. Say something. Does someone want to pop a note on the chat? That'd be great. Yes. Thank you. Oh, wow. Yes. Awesome. All right. So we will get started then. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. As people start to trickle in, we will start our call together. It's a really powerful time to come together. Happy summer solstice, happy solar eclipse, happy new moon, happy blessings from the ancestors. This is a power time, our us. It's on steroids. Wow. Exponentially, we are going to be experiencing this tremendous energy coming from within and also from the cosmos beaming into our body, mind, and soul. With the grace and blessings of Dr. Pillai, we will align with this cosmic energy and clean up the karma, the mindset that we have inherited from our ancestors, or we have been impacted by the planets that are orbiting around the sun, the solar being, who we are also on the earth plane. We're orbiting around, going around the sun as well in our own little orbit. So we're interfacing with these celestial beings, this consciousness, as Dr. Ply says, and all the masters do, that everything is consciousness. So these conscious beings are beaming into us human beings at the level of the soul. The solar energy is what activates our soul, what feeds our soul, what quenches our soul's thirst. And that's why we study these ancient teachings such as Vedic astrology, Nadi astrology, to look into the soul. We come and study under Dr. Ply because he has the grace and blessings coming from the Tamil Siddha tradition, where we can even turn our body into light, like Christ did, like a lot of the masters did before us. They said, hey, it's your birthright. You qualify. You don't have to have a special academia or understanding of being on the spiritual path. You can connect with these divine beings and then enliven your soul, enliven your body. So today we have a solar eclipse that's happening right now. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So we have the snake planets, Rahu and Ketu. They are the north and the south nodes of the moon here on Saturday, June 20th, 2020. My name is Sucharita, for those of you who don't know me, and wishing you all a very warm welcome. And then those of you who do know me, you know we're going to have a good time today. We're going to find out how to energize our body, mind, and soul, how to align with these cosmic and celestial events. So this solar eclipse is all about this ideal day to clear karma, reduce adverse effects, and seek ancestral blessings for a fulfilled life. You can read about that on Pillai Center or Astrovet as well. So the eclipse is starting today, Saturday, June 20th, 2020. It's a new moon, and it's also the time where this north node of the moon, Rahu, and the south node of the moon, Ketu, they are encircling all the planets. So they're hemming the planets in the sky. So what does that mean? Well, Rahu and Ketu represent our ancestral karmas that we're inheriting, and it's affecting our mind because moon represents our mind. So these karmic impressions that are coming up from the DNA that we share, even though our ancestors are dead, they're deceased, they're no more. So, and it's not only just, like a father or mother who has passed away, or if they haven't passed away, then they are not our ancestors. They're still alive. So it could be the grandparents, or it could be great grandparents. It could be aunts and uncles. It could be cousins. It could be kids who have passed before us, unfortunately. So Rahu and Ketu are going to activate the mind and then bring in that ancestral karma. And sometimes it can be a little bit snaky. So they are cosmic snakes. And it represents how the Kundalini can get out of alignment and can cause us to feel confused. It can cause us to feel anxious. It can cause us to feel fearful or bickering and fighting. It's Father's Day weekend as well. Happy Father's Day. And we also can inherit the sins of the father. What are sins? The mistakes that our fathers made or our forefathers made. Without their genes, then we wouldn't be here. That's how we come into the earth plane. So we need that XY chromosome combination for us to evolve as the mom and the dad, sperm and egg, come together. So it's very scientific as well. So this Rahu and Ketu energy, Rahu is something that we have, we're obsessing about, we are worried about, we're concerned about. It's something that we inherit through the ancestors and through past lives where we didn't quite master that aspect of our consciousness. And then we come and play it out again. So Ketu is the planet or the planetary influence. It's not quite a planet. It's an influence, an energy on the moon where it doesn't have a head. So it's kind of out of its mind. So we can also feel like we're out of sorts as well. And we're just kind of going from spiritual practice to spiritual practice, or guru to guru, or teacher to teacher. And we're not really going deep into our spiritual path, our spiritual birthright. So Ketu can be that which we have mastered in previous lifetimes, and then we have come and we have this skill set to be on the spiritual path, but we're kind of like all over the place because we're trying to figure out where our head is at. So Rahu is the head of the snake and Ketu is the tail or the body of the snake. And together they want to make sure that we are aligned with our ancestors. So this is a really powerful time to pray for your ancestors to evolve. You can do Tarpanam. We've talked about that in all kinds of Ply Center practice and Ply Center videos that Dr. Ply has done, other Ply Center teachers have done, as well as I have. And so check that out, how to do a Tarpanam at home. Essentially, it's just offering black sesame seeds at minimum, and then put it in your right hand, pour some water over top, and offer it during your sunlight hour. So between sunrise, wherever you are in the world, and between sunset, wherever you are in the world. You can Google that and just Google your city and your country and just what is sunrise, what is sunset. Or you can check it out on Astroved. Go on to the Panchang, or if you have the Hora Watch app or the Panchang, then you can find out when sunrise is and when sunset is. So anytime in between those daylight hours, you want to be doing this minimum offering black sesame seeds. If you don't have black sesame seeds, you can use beige ones or white ones for now. But you can go online and get pretty much anything. So try to get the black ones. And then black sesame seeds also remind us that Saturday is ruled by Lord Saturn, and Saturn is the one who delivers our karmas and helps us to keep on our dharmic path, helps us to keep going for that higher purpose. There's our spiritual teachings. And stay steady, stay disciplined, stay focused. Don't jump here and there. You can, maybe that's your karma to do that in this lifetime. And maybe you will be okay with it. But most people will feel confused when they go to different teachings and then they come back and forth and so on. We're kind of wiggling around. So we want to get steady, and being here today, we're here in Eastern Daylight Savings Time. It's Toronto, Canada. So we have the grace and blessings of Lord Saturn to dump a lot of karma into the space, not on us, and not activating it in us such that we have to live it out in an intense and long and drawn out kind of way. We know that it's coming up, and some of us feel it when we are feeling agitated. It's all this negative congested energy that we just want it to come out and then be in the space within us, and then also the space connecting to these cosmic beings who will root it out. So it is kind of snaky. And it can also be curses or evil eye, black magic, bickering, fighting. So that kind of like bitterness, biting energy. So watch out for whatever you're saying and whatever you're thinking, whatever you're doing during this particular solar eclipse, during this particular time of the year where it's summer solstice. So there's a lot of energy coming in. We're opening up the Wi-Fi, the divine Wi-Fi connection to the cosmos. And then all the divine beings who are always around us, but they will be able to speak to us in a way that we will understand what it is that they're saying to us. So it's a really fabulous time that you're coming together here in Powertime Practice to find out about it, and also to understand that, hey, this is what my soul wanted me to do. This is what Dr. Pillai pulls our souls to do, so that we are in the right place at the right time, thinking, saying, and doing the right thing that is beyond karma. So it's beyond what we're doing. It's beyond cause and effect. It's aligning, scrubbing up good, and then having that fresh, clean slate on the new moon. And then Father's Day weekend. So not only do we want to honor our fathers, no matter what the relationship has been in this lifetime, it's carrying over from lots of different lifetimes. And perhaps we were our father's father in another lifetime, and now they are our father in this lifetime. So that's how it is with karma. It's this cause and effect. What goes around comes around. So here we are scratching our head saying, how could I have chosen this at the level of the soul, this type of father relationship, if it is really painful and has been, like many of us. But also it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because they pushed us to get on a spiritual path and go beyond what it could be for having a beautiful relationship. And don't lose your faith, because here I am, and with my experience, I've had a tumultuous relationship with both my parents. My mother's passed away, and that relationship is healed, even though she passed away and it wasn't healed before she passed away. It is healed now over the years, doing the Tarpanam practice, offering it to the ancestors, asking them to go to the light, to be in the light, to dump the karma and that is associated with this lineage, so they can help us to help them, and then they help us back in return. That's what we want to do. So there's a universal law or a divine law that says you go to the spiritual path so that you can ask for blessings. Ask is a mantra. Ask is in the Bible. Ask and you shall be given. By who? Ancestors. You can do all your spiritual practices all you want. You can meditate, you can chant, you can do remedies. However, if you don't get the blessings of the ancestors at these power times where you're really tuning in, and a lot of energy coming from the ancestral realm, because it's not just a few ancestors, it's like 64 generations is minimum. And then when we go beyond that, we get into all beings. So we are connecting with all living beings, all at the level of the soul. And then also those who have gone before us, our spiritual masters, our spiritual fathers or forefathers, can be foremothers as well, or females. So once you get to that spiritual level, that level of enlightenment, there is no masculine or feminine. That just is incarnating as a female or a male being here as a human being. But they're beyond that. But they're beyond the body, beyond the mind, beyond everything. They're aligned with the divine. And so we will find out too with Rahu and Ketu, depending on where they are in your chart, it can be pretty intense with your release of some, maybe a guru curse or a spiritual master who has gone before you, or you've gone from spiritual teacher to spiritual teacher, and you found that you didn't leave them cleanly. You just said, okay, I'm out. And so they can be very disrespected, because when we are aligning with the spiritual master, they're doing all the cleaning. They're taking all the karma on, because that's what they are here to do, is to vacuum it up so that you can feel more light. And then they, as Christ said, they will teach us how to fish. So they will teach you how to fish instead of just giving you the fish all the time. So that's what some people, when they jump from master to master, they just want the fish and they don't want to learn how to do it themselves. And they don't want to take the time and be respectful of the master. So those masters will say, okay, cool, see you later, see you next lifetime. So then you come back in this lifetime, and then that also has to be cleaned up. So Rahu Ketu, very spiritual planetary influencers, and they impact our mind. So they can cause great confusion or like obsessions. You're really obsessed about what's going on, and you can be anxious and fearful and depressed. So you obsess right into those kinds of feelings, and you can't seem to shake them. Well, my father did this to me, my mother did this to me, and I have so much pain in my body and the memories, and my heart is just aching. And so that can cause you to keep manifesting that or keep implanting that, as opposed to on this day where you can just press the button and delete. So it's up to us what we want to let go of. And sometimes we're just not ready. And then that conversation or that kind of experience will continue on until we exhaust ourselves. So there are no hard and fast rules with the spiritual path, because this is what we do. So this is where the free will comes in. Yeah. But okay, cool. So the timings again for this solar eclipse starts on June 20th, which is today, Saturday, June 20th at 8:45 p.m. Pacific time, which means that's 11:45 Eastern time. And then it peaks around 11:40 p.m. Pacific time, and that would be 2:40 a.m. on Sunday, the 21st of June. So after midnight, into the wee hours, at 2:40 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And then, so that's the peak time. That's the energy is so potent to just clean up the soul and cleanse the mind, cleanse the body, have those cathartic releases. Feel these beings coming in and just doing like psychosurgical removal, pulling out memories that are just stored and stuck energetically, congesting our body, mind, and soul. So it will feel all this stuff going on and all this clearing. So best thing to do, zip. You don't say anything to anyone. You try to not eat too much. Maybe keep it light, like have some herbal teas or water, or it can be, just from a little bit of fruit juice, but don't have that sugar high and low. Can be having like just dry crackers, something very light to keep your blood sugar up enough, but you want to just be feeling that cleansing process happening. So you're not worried about resting and digesting and falling asleep. You're alert and you're feeling, oh my goodness, I'm doing my meditation. It doesn't matter what meditation you do. It doesn't matter what mantra practice you do. Although Namah Shivaya is a good one, because Namah Shivaya, those are the sounds that make up you and everybody else and everything on the earth plane, and then also everything on other planes as well. So Namah Shivaya, earth, water, fire, air, and ether or space or Akash. We want to align with those power sounds that make up everything on the earth plane. So as the earth is hurling through space and we're aligned with this Pleiadian star energy, the Pleiadian star energy is what the earth is surrounded by. It's immersed in it. And it's a very healing energy, but it's also very disruptive energy, because you won't heal until you really dig deep or surgically remove things. So it can feel like you're having a real, like a psychic surgery going on, or a psycho-spiritual surgery going on. So like pain can be coming out of your body parts. Your hands, your feet can be on fire. Other parts of your body can be like pressing. Your third eye can be pulsing. So it's lots of physical, mental, emotional experiences that are going to be happening if they haven't started already in the preceding days up until now, this point in time. So it's going to culminate at 11:40 p.m. Pacific time, which is 2:40 a.m. Eastern time. And then tomorrow morning, it's going to exit at 2:34 a.m. Pacific time, which is 5:34 in the morning Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So this whole night is a perfect night. We're not running out and doing our shopping and all the other things that we need to do, cleaning the house. It's quiet. So it's a perfect, potent time period to come in and create a fresh, clean slate and honor your ancestors. So during the nighttime, you won't be able to do that if you're in Pacific or Eastern Daylight Savings Time, but you can do it tomorrow as well during your daylight hours, or if you have been doing it during today, the new moon, then that is really a powerful practice to do. Or if you're like me, where you don't want to miss it, so you participate in services for this particular solar eclipse that are offered through Apply Center or AstroVed, and then you know that the Vedic specialists are doing it, they're going to honor your ancestors, and when we don't know, when we maybe are going to be doing other things. So that's always a great backup for me. Actually, it's the forefront. It's like, okay, it's going to pave everything. And then whatever I do, that's my effort. And that's what I can do. So the ether is opening up. It's pouring this energy into the earth plane, not just with Dr. Ply, it's the whole earth plane. So whatever we do to evolve ourselves, as a recent naughty reading did for me, it pointed out that whatever I'm doing, it's impacting my father, who is going through a really tough time. Even though we had a tumultuous relationship our whole lives, the naughty said, whatever I'm doing with my spiritual practice, that is going to be the grace and blessings to help him to come out of harms and hurdles. And it's regardless of what the emotional tie is. As a human being, we want to do what we can to do to relieve the suffering of someone. So taking it to that level where it's more neutral and it's not going into the story, it's something that I don't even have to work at anymore, because I've done so much Tarpanam and continue to participate in the year-long Tarpanam programs. So check those out as well. And maybe if someone here is from Ply Center, or Rada, if you're here, that'd be really great if you can pop those links onto either the YouTube or onto the chat so that people can take a look at those offerings. And that will clean up all your issues with your parents, your siblings, your aunts and uncles and cousins, anyone who is in your gene pool. So these snake planets, again, they're encircling all the planets. It is a very rare planetary alignment. The planets will be encircled by Rahu and Ketu, the major planets. Okay, this is really important. The major planets who deliver the karmas, and they stick around for at least, some months, weeks, can be. Jupiter is transiting, or is going into retrograde. So what is it doing? It's going inside. It's making us to look inside for our own light. So Guru is the spiritual master. It's the dispeller of darkness. So it wants us to go inwardly and review all that stuff, that the memories, the whatever we've done historically speaking in our lives that we're ashamed of, or we're not happy about, or we're not proud of, or we're super scared that it's going to come out and, oh my God, what if someone knows? And, all this energy is holding on to this, the emotional energy is holding on to the story so tight that we can't evolve no matter what we do. So Jupiter transits for a year in a sign, and right now it is going into a retrograde position, meaning it can go inside and shed the light inside of you, and then you just take whatever is coming up and you take it to the curb. And then just like the garbage truck comes and takes the garbage, you don't go and sort it out anymore. This is it. Fresh, clean slate. So Jupiter, big heavy hitter, will give us fortune, luck, and grace if we can get rid of all that other stuff, get it out of the way. So declutter the body, mind, and soul. Saturn is another big deliverer of karma, as I mentioned earlier in the call. And Saturn transits a sign for 2.5 years. It does this back and forth again It is going retrograde, meaning back internally to go do what? Find out what karma isn't serving you anymore. You just can't be this way. We're in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. We're tired, 60s, 70s. When are we going to stop this story and give it over to the divine? And how do we do that? Through teachings, through these remedies. It's going to remediate. It is a ritual. It's going to enrich us or make us to feel rich, regardless of what we inherited biologically speaking. So Venus is also retrograde. I think it's going to be turning direct in a few days. So Venus going retrograde is saying, hey, how do you feel about money? How do you feel about your comforts in life? How do you feel about your manifestations? How do you feel about your devotion to yourself, to others, to your spiritual teachers, to everything in life? Your devotion isn't just like, oh, I'm devoted to my husband or my wife or my girlfriend, boyfriend, that significant other, or spiritual master. I'm devoted to that person. It doesn't mean that. Devotion is a consciousness. And it says the more you are aligned with devotional energy, it's easy to evolve spiritually. You don't have to be an academic. You don't have to get into philosophy and religion. Those are kind of interesting, but being on a spiritual path is that you even let go of all that. You take the knowledge and then you use what is going to help you to navigate. So Venus is all about devotion and emotion and having the comforts in life and deserving it, feeling like you deserve it. So people struggle with that self-deprecation and low self-worth or low self-esteem or even low energy. Like you just, what's the point? So Venus will bring you, it's a bright, bright star. It's a the brightest planet in the sky. So it's a bright star energy. It's shiny. So you want to shine like a diamond. Mercury is also retrograde, and don't freak out about that. As we mentioned in previous calls that were recently done, is when a Mercury goes retrograde, everybody goes, oh my God, everything's going to break down. And it does for those people who think that way. But for those people who say, okay, Mercury is all about communication. It's all about intuition. It's all about healing and making things to happen fast. It's about intelligence. How are you using your intelligence? It's a money planet, just like Venus is a money planet. Mercury is a money planet. So you can pray to Mercury to help you to have the energy, the intelligence to have creative financing. So you have to find a way out of your financial struggles or go and get the help that you need. And it'll be very quick. So that you'll go in and you will review where things are happening. I've heard from so many people, they say, oh my God, my insurance policy ran out. I didn't know that it had run out because all the COVID, everything is happening. Oh, I didn't get my license renewed and so on. So all these things that can be problematic, Mercury will reveal it to you because you're reviewing, you're renewing, you're looking into it as it's going into its retro, looking back or looking in. And looking deeper into your situations. And then your intuition will be really sharp. And then you'll be like, oh, wow, good thing I found that. As opposed to waiting down the line when things start to open up. And whenever that is, that could be too late. And then you're feeling like a victim to the circumstance. So we're never, as Dr. Ply says, never, never, never a victim to the circumstance. We can change our timeline anytime. So this eclipse also, the sun, the moon, Rahu will be in the star Mrigashira. Mrigashira star is ruled by Mars, and it's the star of searching. So again, it has this theme of going retrograde. It's like looking in. It's like grading yourself within and not feeling like, oh my God, I passed or failed. It's like saying, okay, what level of consciousness am I operating from? And it's not from what is going on outside, it's from what is going on inside. So we want to raise our awareness, raise our energy. So Mrigashira is very light. And it is also Mars, so it will purify. You'll feel heated up. You'll feel your third eye pulsing, like it wants you to align with the energy of the universe. It wants you to open up the third eye. It's not just this little, like an eye that you draw on your forehead or you see in these different diagrams, pictures. It is this cosmic opening of your subtle body brain. So the brain inside of your energy body, which corresponds to the brain inside of your skull. So it wants to open up and expand beyond this physical brain, beyond this body. It wants to open so that the whole body turns into light. So the third eye is just sort of the entry point. So it's like the little peephole, the little peephole. And we want it, the keys are the mantras, the keys are the spiritual practices, the keys are the meditations, the keys are the remedies. So we're opening, and all of a sudden we will have opened our whole body, mind, and soul. So these power times will give you that opportunity where a lot of energy is coming in and you will scrub up good. And then you will never be the same because we're always evolving. So this Soma is the moon god. It radiates the energy to help manifest the results for what you seek. So the Soma also refers to Amrita, that ambrosia, as the third eye is opening. The DMT, dimethyltryptamine, is opening up in the third eye. And the pineal, the pituitary, the third ventricle is like a little dancing stage for you in the divine and all this energy. And then you're having these visions or you're having these experiences where it's bliss and you're immersed in this divine consciousness. And then these beings start to pop into your conscious state of awareness, although you're in an altered state. So that will help you to feel this, what you read about, you will actually feel it kind of like dripping in the back of your throat. It says like honey pouring down and soothing you and soothing your heart and soothing your chakras. So this divine nectar is the elixir of life, or the prana, the life force. It's the source of energy, the vitality of the gods, the pitris, the ancestors. So performing Tarpanam and offering your prayers on this day can help your ancestors to go to the light, to absorb that light. And guess what will happen? Your DNA will change because we share the DNA of our ancestors. So as they evolve, we don't have to die and follow them. They're evolving and they're pulling all that spiritual DNA out of us that is not serving us. It's like junk DNA, they call it. So they activate that DNA that is going to be keeping us full of light and love and super consciousness, no suffering. Our ancestors do not want us to suffer. They are stuck in this plane that they can't get out. So they're trying to get us to do something to get them out. So doing your offering and the Tarpanam offering will help you to help them to get to higher states of consciousness. Lord Vishnu is readily available, his energy. You're going to feel it today as we do our meditation soon. Enough, we'll get into that. So it's an ideal to get the blessing, ideal time frame to get the blessings of the ancestors. And then once we get the blessings of the ancestors, it's pretty darn amazing. All the descendants here on the earth plane who we're related to, and the ones who are really close, like the family members, people who are our cousins and extended family members, aunts and uncles, grandparents, and then the in-laws, the outlaws, and all of that. It starts to have this ripple effect because the divine is not limited to the physical, biological relationships that we have. It will just pour over into everyone. So that it can be pouring even over into our workplace, where our boss reminds us of our mother, reminds us of our father, hey, who have passed away. That's them. They're coming in. How else are they going to get into contact and say, here I am? So it will start to clean up those relationships as well. Your nieces, your kids, your nephews, your anyone in your immediate gene pool, and then surrounding that gene pool, and then through the generations that are here or you're experiencing now, depending on how old you are. So it's a day filled with energy, the searching star Mrigashira. It's an ideal day to seek the blessings of the ancestors, perform The Tarpanam to clear the karma, reduce the adverse effects of the eclipse. So it's not advisable to start any new adventures. Underline. So any thing that you are making a decision, maybe you're going to make a decision to move, just hold off for a few days. And then something will open up and you will see, oh my God, that would have been a karmic mess if I would have signed a contract or made that decision in that moment to go and move into that place, or do a big business deal, or file a lawsuit, or something that is going to impact you for a long time. Even taking medicines, hold off a couple of days. So it's not advisable to start any new adventures or money-making initiatives. So even at work, I've been trying to do that auto sign thing. I have a contract that I have to sign, and it hasn't. Every time I hit it to submit it, I get an email that's saying you haven't signed this yet. And it's just like, oh my God, I'm going to just wait till after the eclipse. So I just, I sent an email off, a communication off to the people who were, hey, why aren't you signing this? I said, I don't know, but I'm just going to wait a few days. Is that okay? And they're like, yeah, fine. So we will never be a victim to circumstances. We will always be alert, and then the divine will guide us and then put into the minds of the people who we are interfacing with, whether that's family members, relationships, business relationships, work relationships, and so on. You will have the blessings coming in. So this eclipse, really important. Because it's interfacing with Gemini, which is the sign that has the duality. So it's got the image or the symbol of the woman playing the harp, la 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 la, and then it has the guy with the club. So we want to put the guy to work with the club, but he's clubbing the negative energies and just taking them out, so to speak, and then we'll be in more harmony. So sun represents the soul, as we mentioned. It's that soul power. Again, the father is also associated with the sun's energy. And it's all about authority and advanced creative thinking. So higher level creative thinking. You might even get promoted to a higher level. Moon represents the mind, the intuition, the mother, money, whatever, however you nurture yourself or you're nurturing others. Mercury controls communication, travel, network. So check those out. Double check when you are going to do this. Or like me, it's like Mercury retrograde, not signing that thing online. So I'll wait till after the eclipse, and no doubt I will get it done. So, but there it is. It's an example of how you can get so frustrated and so messed up and worried and scared. Oh my God, I didn't sign the contract. Does that mean I'm not going to get the contract? So all that karma will just calm down, and then be aligned with the divine, and whatever you speak, whatever you're saying. This is a really uncertain time for everyone. So everyone is trying to be the most compassionate they can be. If you are authentic and you are sincere, you're not trying to cheat anyone. It's just technical issues, and everyone knows about that. So it will help you with your communication and uplift you, and then create, really good relationships, because that's trust building as well. They trust you and you trust them. So Jupiter represents fortune, luck, and grace, and prosperity. We want to align with that energy. Saturn rules career, your health, and karma. Mars represents action or raw energy. So we want that raw fire of Mars energy to burn all the things that are like enemies, diseases, debts, litigation, suffering. Our inability to feel the energy of our spiritual practices. Sometimes we're just like blank, nothing. I don't see anything. I don't feel anything. And how come all these people are having visions and all this bliss? And, we're just so having this internal battle. Well, Mars, that means we've got to put Mars, just turn it around. So turn it so that it is going to be the god of the third eye, burn all that stuff, and pop goes the third eye. So it gives you that courage, that passion or compassion for yourself, stamina, willpower, that direction, and that will to take action. Because who's going to take action? for you. You. That's it. Venus signifies your relationship, money, health, beauty, creativity, happiness, and pleasures. So this on a personal level and on a global level, it's going to impact you. And so you should be very careful, as I mentioned, about casual conversations or when you're sending text messages or emails. Hold off a couple of days. Even if it's a good thing, just hold off. And even if it's going to be for Father's Day, really before you hit that text, maybe just say minimal and make it be so that it's very general. If you don't have a good relationship, if you have a good relationship with your father, fabulous, God bless you. But most people on spiritual path, they have a bit of challenges with either mother or father. So that gets cleaned up. And then this is a great time to do it. So you want to be very careful in your communication because it can be very readily and easily misinterpreted. And I find that being on the spiritual path and studying with Dr. Ply, you're in the right place at the right time, thinking, saying, and doing the right thing. If you miss out on some communication, it's like, be happy when you missed it and be happy when you got the communication, because sometimes that missing it was good. I missed out on potential, ego struggles and things like that. As long as you're not avoiding it, going, oh my God, I don't want to communicate. You can communicate. It will help you to be very diplomatic and very neutral. And you'll feel that diplomacy. You'll feel that neutrality in a very authentic way. So the more authentic we are with ourselves, we're aligned with this solar eclipse, with this summer solstice, with this new moon energy, with the energy of the ancestors, then on a personal level, we'll just be a whole new way of being. And we will be doing the right thing at the right time, whether you hit the send button or not. Maybe like me, I didn't hit the send button and someone came back at me and said, you didn't even hear it. And I was like, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Let me send that to you now. Then I get this big emoji back. Yay, thank you so much. It's like, whoa, okay. So, you just sort of let go. So even during casual conversations, even if you are joking around, it can be mistaken. So if you're going to see family members, like a lot of people may be doing, if they can do that, if they're allowed to come out of isolation a bit, we're getting some restrictions taken down. I think we're in second to third phase of things, which means we can go out more and interact with more people. Of course, keeping social distance, but we don't have to be isolated in our homes here in Toronto, Canada. So be careful when you're having those kinds of conversations, especially around this political scene that's going on. So politics are very personal for people. So be careful. You can just be smiling all through this eclipse, all through the weekend, and just know this too shall pass. So it's better to, as the kids say, ziplock, forget about the schlock. And then Saturn or Gemini is this house of effort. So your efforts to remember and honor your ancestors, sponsoring Tarpanam or doing your own daily practice is going to really help you come over harms and hurdles because they got freed up with what they needed. So on a global level, according to Vedic astrology, the occurrence of an eclipse in any particular sign, star, association of planets plays a vital role in revealing global events. So people are like, why is this going on right now? It's a head scratcher. And they just can't believe, at this day, this time in our lives where information is there, technology is there. No other time in the world have we had all the comforts that we have as a generation. We have so much comforts and we have so much education, opportunities. We can vote, we can do all these things, but why are we so messed up? We have to look to the cosmos. We have to look to the stars and see, how are you impacting the earth plane? What is this all about? So it can be said that eclipses reveal events and planetary transits trigger those events. So as we're revolving around the sun in our own orbit, then all the planets are revolving around the sun in their orbit. So this energy that is kind of like breathing in and breathing out, We're not jumping over into Saturn's orbit. We are aligning with that energy as it comes into view. So here we are, we're looking up into the cosmos. So what's the story up there? What is the energy? And then you can see the different lunar mansions, the stars, as we mentioned, Mrigashira star, it's in Gemini, the sign. You can see that in the sky. So it suggests that this solar eclipse happening, it can be profoundly felt in countries where the eclipses are visible. So the eclipses are happening at certain times, and then this annual solar eclipse would be visible in India, Nepal, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, so UAE, and Ethiopia, Congo, and Central African Republic. You can read about that on Fly Center Astrovit if you want that repeated. So go dive in. So when it's visible for you, you'll really feel it because you're like, whoa, no kidding, I can see it. But they say that you shouldn't look into the eclipse. You shouldn't even be out during the eclipse. Dr. Ply said, just take this time to go inward. So just keep yourself isolated and keep yourself indoors and keep yourself in a meditative state. Don't go watch Netflix and all kinds of other stuff because that's a waste of time. We can never get back time. So during these power times, it's an opening for us to evolve spiritually. And we're aligned, perfect alignment with our ancestors, perfect alignment with these cosmic beings to dump a lot of karma. It's like you get to clean out your garage and you got all these people coming over to your place and going, okay, what do you want me to take away? And you're just like, okay, take that, take that, take that. You don't have to really do anything. You're just opening the door. So we will feel that, and emotionally in the world on a global level might see some emotional upheaval or some even wars. So this solar eclipse happening in the star Mrigashira, the sign Gemini, receives the aspect of Mars, and it suggests that the spread of airborne diseases, hello coronavirus. So we could see a resurge of that, and actually there's it was announced in Toronto in our news here that they're predicting that it's going to come back again, even more virulent, even more forceful. So we're kind of a practice in self-isolation. We've had some practice with it, so it's not going to be a big thing, but it's getting to a lot of people where like, how much longer? So that can really agitate people, frustrate people. And so then they can be susceptible to getting the virus. So law and order issues. So people are in lockdown and they're not happy about it. It's summertime and our winters are long and we're begging for summer to come and it's so beautiful. And yet we can't be out and about doing what we need to do freely. So as we used to. So the negative influence on world leaders, leading to impulsive decisions, potential threat to the life of world leaders. So we could see maybe some assassination attempts, hopefully no one will be killed, but that can be happening too. So as it is playing out in the cosmos, it's giving us a forecast. Is it going to happen or not going to happen? It depends. So every country right now, there are so many people in different spiritual paths that are praying, come on, don't let us do anything stupid. Because this is a time where there's so much intelligence. We always go for the higher path. I don't know how it's going to happen, but when we call on these divine beings, call on the siddhas, they will get into, and we can even intend our prayers or our practices to get the divine must intervene because it could be a powder keg, if not nuclear. Where you just don't want to even think that anymore. That has to be an old story, an old paradigm that just must go away. We can't wipe out the earth plane. We've seen it historically. It's just not a good deal. It's not a good scene anywhere. So we can pray to or offer our prayers to the divine beings, and then we can say, please get into the minds of those who are ruling the world. And then those people who don't want to play a part in politics anymore, maybe they're tired of it, then they will all of a sudden come and say, you know what, I just want to get out. And then some more highly evolved people will step in. That's what we can pray for. So whatever we think, so shall it become. And that's how we can impact on a global level whatever we're thinking. Look at one guy, Jesus, or any of the prophets or the messiahs or those who have gone before. One guy changed the way that we lived for the past couple thousand years. Did it change the whole world in a way that Christianity spread right across the whole globe? No, but it just said, hey, honor everybody. And so far, it has been a more enlightened way of being since he was around. So it's all about consciousness. So law and order issues, negative influence on world leaders, impulsive decision, drugs, and other addictive habits could create problems with the younger generation. And we see that, you just watch the news or MSN, or you watch the movies that are out, that depict how it is in the world, and kids, they're just really confused. They just don't even know what to do because the world is messed up. And we used to think that too when we were kids and as adults as well, but we don't want to get caught in the emotion of it and then take drugs to just get out of it. I was walking through the schoolyard. I just live down the street from a high school, and there's the kids are coming back just in smaller numbers to come and clean out their lockers and so on. And then I think maybe like a couple hundred kids come at a time, because there's like 2,000 or 3,000 kids that go to this school. And so there's some kids that were yelling at one of the boys I was talking to. He's a neighbor of ours. And hey, how you doing and everything. And then his friend yelled at him and said, hey, dude, you want to come and get high? And they're swearing, and he's just totally out of his mind. And I said, what are you going to do? And he goes, not do that. And I said, oh, okay, cool. What are you going to do? And he goes, I'm going to ride my bike. I'm going to experience the freedom. I'm going to go into nature. And I said, good for you. So, that's his karma, and he has high self-esteem. He's not going to be influenced by his peers in that way. But on a global level, we may see that kind of thing going on. Teen suicide is up, and we may see people not necessarily taking their lives, but going into a deadened state, a numb state, using drugs, prescription drugs, drugs that marijuana, you can buy it everywhere here in Toronto, in Canada. So people are going in and trying that out just to calm their minds, or to just get detached from all of this, to space out. But that's not a great state of being. So that's a sign that this eclipse is going to impact people adversely. And then how can we help? Well, we can just pray to the divine, bless this house, bless the people in it, bless the neighborhood, bless the community, bless the city, bless the country, and so on. And then as we come together and we pray, it's like we create a network of that request to the divine. Is it going to work or not? What have we got to lose? But we will see, because it is a time where the golden age is coming through the cosmos, and we have to meet it. We have to raise our vibration to come in and grab all those pearls of wisdom, grab all that divine energy, and try to integrate it into our everyday life, not in a thinking way, but you're experiencing it. So this, again, is a really great time for you to, really think positive thoughts. Birth stars that are going to be affected by this solar eclipse, the Vedic rishis say you should do some remedies. So that can be your spiritual practices. And that's the best thing. And then zip. And don't send any texts. Don't send any emails. Don't send anything. Even if you say, oh my God, I must sign this thing. It's okay. Once you come out of it, then it will be fine. And you can sign it then. So the stars in the sign Gemini, Ardra, Mrigashira, and Punarvasu, these stars are part of Gemini sign. So these are lunar mansions that align with the sign Gemini. So to know your birth star, you can just take your birth details, go into astroved.com, key it in for free, and then you will find out what your star is. So the other stars are ruled by Mars. So Chitra and Dhanishta are stars. And then the star in the sign Taurus is Rohini. So there are other stars in that are ruled by Mars, but these Chitra and Dhanishta are the stars that are going to be impacted. So you have to be alert and do a lot of meditation. And then Rohini star as well in the sign of Taurus. So do's and don'ts on the eclipse day: if it's possible, fast, and then don't eat don't cook or eat during eclipse times. So you can eat, you can do a little bit, maybe have like crackers and things like that. So cooking, I'm not really sure what they mean by that. This is all traditionally. So no hard and fast rules with Dr. Ply. So, oh my God, I'm cooking and so on. Just do what you can do now with the information that you have now. And then listen to Vishnu's Sahasranam. That's the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu, or Shiva's Mrityunjaya mantra. The Trayambakam Yajamahe Sukandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukami Bandhanam Mrityor Mamrita. And that is to, hey, open my third eye, like a cucumber falls from the branch. I don't know when it's going to happen, but this solar eclipse, this period of time will just, your third eye will just, and you will go, oh my God, how did that happen? So these are power times where all these divine beings are coming in. Beings, they're not like a physical form. It's a being, just like you're a human being. What are you being? You're not this just physical. There's a consciousness. So align with that, and then the third eye will open. We're going to pray for that. And then Om Namah Shivaya or Om Namo Narayana. We're going to experience that. It says pregnant ladies and people with heart problems should not expose themselves to the sun during this period of time. Well, we're lucky enough here in Pacific time and Eastern Daylight Savings Time it's already sunset. So we won't be looking at the sun, but we'll look inside and we will feel, maybe our heart will be racing. Maybe we'll feel this blood pumping, and it might scare us. It's because the Kundalini energy is going to be, a lot of energy is going to be coming in. The siddhas, the saints, everybody around us and inside of us, that consciousness is going to be holding us steady. So no need to freak out. If you have a Kundalini experience, this is part of the eclipse. It's intense. So then take care of yourself. So that's what I wanted to share about the eclipse. And then this, the next thing is, before we get into our meditation, is Ashara Navaratri. So in the 9 nights of the springtime, or at this point in time, this Ashadha Navaratri is the 9 nights of the performer goddess Varahi. So Varahi is this divine archetype. She looks like she has a boar's head with the tusks, and she is here as the goddess of 2020. There's also a yantra behind me. Yantra is a landing pad. This is also a landing pad, but this is an image that the ancient seers saw, and then they said, oh, who are you? And then she said, hey, I'm going to come in 2020, and I'm going to be the goddess of prosperity and health and well-being. And they said, well, Lakshmi is that. No. We need to root out poverty consciousness. We need to root out scarcity consciousness once and for all. So she has this snout and then the tusks to just go in and clean up all of our consciousness and root out what we inherited, which is you must work hard and you don't get what you deserve and you're not worthy and blah, blah, blah. That creates this, we're afraid, we're scared, we have scarcity and poverty consciousness. So she's going to be rooting that out. And then you can read about that, the 9 nights of the performer goddess, which is starting on June 22nd. So you still have time to take a look at that. And I signed up for it, and I'm just so excited because if this is the goddess 2020, why don't we want to honor her? It's like, this is her time. And then she's not only the goddess of 2020, as in 2020 to 2021, she's the goddess of the golden age. So 2020 is the beginning of a new decade, 2020 to 2030. So we can compress time with her because she's a divine being. So we can compress everything that we were worried about as far as finances go, scarcity, consciousness, investments, poverty consciousness, not having enough. So she will just crush that. She'll root all that out, such that in those 10 years of, working hard and struggling, and good investments, bad investments, ups and downs, and scared out of our minds in this uncertain time, she's like, no, just compress it and get a great foundation. Get that consciousness inside of you. It's already inside of you. Wake it up. And then her grace and blessings are there. You can read about her again on this Ply Center. So Dr. Ply says, Varahi's a form of Lakshmi. She's also related to the goddess Shreem, who is Mahalakshmi. Maha means great, Lakshmi. And we need them at these times. They're willing to come and help us. Varahi is very much present. She's the goddess of the earth, and she's the goddess of gold, platinum, abundance, above all the goddesses, who knows the needs of the people and wants to do things as quickly as possible. So she is also known as Dr. Ply shares. She's a performer goddess. So if you don't know her, you don't honor her in any way, or you don't know how to, read about it on Ply Center. And if you can participate in these services, then you really know her. And she will, not only inside of you, will you be relieved of all this things that you're afraid of as far as finances go, prosperity goes, having a house, a car, a beautiful relationship during these uncertain times. She doesn't look at that. She just says, what do you want? I'm going to get it for you. So you get these beings on your side, and then put them to work. And then, oh my God, this spiritual path is so cool. I can just dial up my best friends or text message them. So this is, again, you can read all about it and all. There's also honoring the goddess Lalita, who fulfills the desires. You can read about that. The goddess Chandi, she's fierce protectress from, she protects us from negativities and misfortune. So there's a great Sri Varahi Anugraha Ashtakam chanting in Varahi Far. So even if we know how to chant, or we go on to YouTube, we will get it at a certain level. It will be like a superficial level. We'll know about it. But to go and immerse our soul, we don't have to go to India. It's being done. Our name will be added to the ceremony. Our birth star will be added if that's known. It doesn't really matter, because the divine is pulling you to do that. And then you will start to feel this kind of rooting out of all pain and suffering that we inherited, and that we've had to live up until this point. It just gets rooted out. And then we go about and do our life like we have been, but we're free of it. So she does that, and she fulfills your desires. So there's a lot more going on. Read about it, see if it resonates with you. And if you can participate, it's going to go on for the 9 days offering. So you can also, Varahi loves sweet potato mixed with honey and pomegranate, you can put as well. So those, if you can't participate in these services, you can try to offer that to a picture or a statue, an image of the goddess Varahi. Even if you don't have that, internet is there. You can just be pulling it up, even on here on Ashada, and there's a picture of Varahi there. So you can just offer that to your computer or to your phone. But most people will, download a picture at some point, because she's the goddess of the golden age. So she's not going to go away. And you might think, oh, I don't want to have a, pig-headed archetype in your, it's like, well, who's pig-headed? You or her? She's naturally, and you're just kind of like getting in the way of it. So these archetypes will come and bend our minds. They'll make it more like it's interesting, because we can watch Star Trek, or we can watch Star Wars, or we can watch these superhero movies, and they have green bodies, and they got piercings, and they got all kinds of things going on, and tails, and funny heads, and we can say, oh yeah, I believe in that. But then you get into these archetypes who are really for real, and I don't know if I believe in that, and what am I feeding them, what? So it's like you go to your, your favorite restaurant, and if they don't have your meal, or you go to your favorite store, and because we can't go to restaurants, and and they don't have the favorite food that you want because they're out of it, or whatever you need, you're kind of, you don't feel well, you don't. So then when you have it, you're like, oh my God, this is so exciting. So it's the way we're being energetically, and we're connecting with these beings. We may not understand them or even know how to relate to them, but once we start to commune with them, meaning that we're aligning with their energy, it doesn't matter if we believe it or not, it's going to be happening. So when you have an image or a statue or a yantra, or you just have knowledge about it, then you will be alert for that energy to come, and you won't be freaked out. All of a sudden in your meditation, this boar head comes, you go, what is that? You're like, oh, hi, Rahi, awesome, come on in. So that's happening, and you can read about that. So this weekend, happy Father's Day. No matter what your father has done, love is the law of life. Because at the end of the life, and he's gone, or you're gone, or both of you are gone, it's done. You didn't get to express love for that human being who gave you birth, even though you came from your mother. You were birthed in, you were conceptualized, you were conceived, and you were created. So just look at it scientifically and say, oh, cool. And then you can just allow everything, all the storyline, just leave it. I need it all rooted out. And all these planets, these planetary influences, these cosmic beings, these cosmic events are going to support you, because that's what you're here to do. You're here to find out how to be spiritual without dying. Nobody needs to die. You just tap into that world. Oh, okay, this is for real. That's the real world. And then you pull that energy in. You don't want to do the whole thing at once, because, whoa, that's a bit overwhelming. So these cosmic events give you that opportunity where it's very focused, and then you can go in and pull that energy out, try it on, awaken it inside of you, and then on to the next. So that's what I wanted to share. So I'm just going to pop up my screen here. Okay, good. Now I can see myself again. So, oh, great. We have quite a few people here. So hopefully this has been something that has enlivened or maybe it's tweaked your interest, but there's some energy coming in. And as we're coming into this solar eclipse time period, we might experience some stuff coming up. So what I'd like to do now is to take you through a process. Of course, I'm just going to be leading. Dr. Ply's energy is going to come in, and he's going to grab your soul, and you're going to feel it. And you're going to feel like a breathing in and breathing out. Because what is a soul? It's this prana, this life force, something you can't touch. You definitely can feel it. And you will feel lighter, or you'll feel intense, like it's like a struggle, and you'll feel him cleaning you out. Or you, maybe not him, but you'll hear, celestial music, or you might smell something. Whoa, you might feel tingling. You might feel like, pain coming out of you, because the ancestors are, that karma that we've inherited from the ancestors can be kicking you back too. It can be like poking you and saying, hey, don't kick me out. I've been with you a long time. But you can just say, okay, go to the light. And then, oh my goodness, they go to the light, and all of a sudden everything changes. Just like us, when we woke up from our dead state of being in life, from the rat race, from the wheel, the hamster on the wheel, from the superficial life. And when we woke up, we were like, whoa, there's a whole new way of being. So with that, let's get into our practice, and then we will honor these divine beings who are supporting us. You'll feel them, some presence all around. So don't feel like, oh my God, I'm scared. You are, because we're groping in the dark. So we want to ask Dr. Ply to bring the light, So whether you see light or different colors, wavelengths of light, because that's what color is, it's just waves of light, different frequencies. So you know, whether you see that or not, you know what a reddish orangish light looks like. You know what a blue light looks like. You know what a golden light looks like. If you don't see that, and I'm saying that, well, then you just be present to whatever is going on, because these divine beings are going to be perhaps working at a spiritual anesthetic level, not aesthetic, anesthetic. So you might feel like, whoa, I feel like I'm drugged. Or I feel like some people say, oh my God, Sucharita, I fell asleep, but then I woke up at the end and I'm like, where did I go? So you can have OBE, like an out of body experience. That is totally cool. Don't worry, you're going to come back. And you can just carry on if you want into a deep state of meditation. You don't have to come back. We will be continuing on with an open discussion after that to share. You can share your experiences. So for right now, what is your intention? So I've shared with you, it's all about the ancestors. It's all about aligning with some planets. So don't worry about what the planets are. They know inside of you what they want to awaken inside of you. So Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Venus, Mercury, those are really strong ones. And then the stars, the Mars-related stars, Chitra star, if that's your star, or Rohini star. And then the stars in Gemini, Mrigashira, and Purnavasu, and one more, Ardra star. So those stars, those people with those stars, you will feel some working and moving and some energy, some light, some, you know, something going on inside of you because you're being impacted by it the most. So, and we all are, because we're not like, oh, well, it's not, that's them and this is me. No, no, no. We are on the earth plane and we're hurling through space, and those are the stars that we're aligned with. So we can be praying for those people who have those stars or those cosmic alignments, and then to say, hey, you know, help them out so that they get the benefits from those stars. Because it's not negative. It's just, you know, if you are feeling an intensity coming in, you can take that energy, and your intention is to use it for fuel for your Kundalini energy to cook up, to shine up your soul, to align with the cosmos. So we need energy to align with the cosmos. So you can just turn everything around. Just like you can have a good day and you can have a bad day. Someone can cut you a dirty look and you go, oh my God, how awful. And then walk away and you totally forget about it. So we can turn everything around very quickly, or we can take it in deeply and let it churn, but maybe the churning will allow the cream to rise to the top, that as the churning goes. So whatever your experience is, just let go, let God, let Dr. Pillai guide you, his energy. You might even see him, might see some siddhas. You know, it could see Christ, could experience a lot of different things. So closing your eyes, putting your attention internally. We're going to call on Lord Ganesha, who moves the Kundalini energy up the spine and pierces the chakras with a beam of light. The chakras are psycho-spiritual centers stacked on one another in the spinal column, the backbone, but in the energy body, the subtle body. We have this physical body to be like a landmark. X marks the spot for these divine beings to commune, activate our soul. So reddish orangish light pouring down the legs, into the feet and toes, into the ground, into the earth. Feel the stability of the earth. Imagine the whole Mother Earth being activated with your attentional energy on your feet touching the earth, or imagining your feet touching the earth. This reddish orangish light now comes up from the earth in through the feet, the calves, the shins, the knees, the thighs, the front of the thighs, the back of the thighs, the buttocks, the pelvic region. Now you're with Ganesha, who removes obstacles for you to experience success. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Now imagine a ray of light shooting up your backbone, piercing the chakras, going through the skull, the top of the skull into the space, up, up, up. You're just allowing it. Like a text message, you're sending out an SOS to all the divine realms where the divine beings are, to come and help you and the world during this eclipse, to bring calm and peace, prosperity, resolution. Do the impossible. We'll activate the chakras that are pierced with this beam of light, starting at the base of the spine. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Move up to the throat, feel the throat, clear it. The karma is stuck in the throat. Clear it. Now move up into the middle of the brain, the third eye. Float back down to the base of the spine. Radiate out beyond your body in all directions the sound Na that connects you to the earth. In the legs, in the feet, the earth, radiating out this energy far beyond the body, far beyond this earth plane. Na, 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 na. Move up into the belly, the navel chakra. Radiate the energy beyond the body in all directions. Connect with the water element. Ma, 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 ma. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Also down the arms and hands and fingers. Set them on fire. She, 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 she. Move into the throat, the mouth, the nostrils. Connect with the air element. Radiate that energy out beyond the body. Wa, 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 wa. Now move into the eyeballs. Keep them steady, still. The right and left brain. Connect with the ether, the Akash. Ya, 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 Now imagine Dr. Ply appearing before you in a form you're familiar with or a light. Receive two beams of light coming into your eyes, piercing your eyeballs, coming from Dr. Ply's eyes. The spiritual transmission will diffuse or neutralize your karma in your eyes. Imagine another light entering your third eye, piercing your forehead, activating the pituitary, the pineal. Feel the pressure, tingling, sensation, expansion. Lock on to those three beams of light coming from Dr. Ply's eyes, his third eye, into your eyes, your third eye. Let go of all karmas that are no longer serving you. And receive prosperity, enlightenment, blessings, fortune, grace, wisdom. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Keep receiving the light in your eyeballs, burning your eyeballs, burning your third eye. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Take it deeper into your eyes, into your third eye, middle of your brain. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Now feel your third eye pulsing, activating all the neurons in your brain. The whole brain lights up. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Spin the sounds of this mantra in your brain. Spin it. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Internalize the sound as it continues to spin in your brain. And put your attention on your third eye. Go into the spin inside like a tornado. You're the eye inside the spin. You're the calm, centered third eye. Trayambakam yajamahi sukhandim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanam mrityurmokshiyamamritat. Feel the third eye pulsing. Om Trayambakam yajamahi sukhandim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanat mrityurmokshiyamaha amritat. Feel the third eye pulsing, expanding. Om Trayambakam yajamahi sukhandim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanat mrityurmokshiyamamritat. The energy in the brain is spinning with Om Namah Shivaya. The inner eye, the third eye, is calm, centered, pulsing with Trayambakam, Mrityunjaya mantra. Pour your attentional energy into your heart. Allow it to just fall gently into your heart. A beautiful blue being appears in your heart. Golden robes and sparkling gems. This being is Lord Vishnu, fulfilling your wishes, taking care of your ancestors, giving you blessings, money miracle consciousness to fulfill your heart's desire, cleaning up any negative emotions, inherited or developed, blocking your progress in life. Narayanaya vidmahe vasudevaya dhimahi tanno Vishnu prachodayat. Feel your heart expanding with blue and gold light radiating out, releasing negative congested energies. Om Narayanaya vidmahe vasudevaya dhimahi tanno Vishnu prachodayat. Om Narayanaya vidmahe vasudevaya dhimahi tanno Vishnu prachodayat. Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Internalize the sounds in your heart, the sound waves, the waves of energy cleansing the heart, the light of Lord Vishnu, fulfilling your wishes, creating money, miracle consciousness. Now, come back up to your third eye. Visualize the goddess Varahi Shrimrzi, the boar head, the tusks. She's beautiful, radiating prosperity consciousness, health, well-being, beautiful relationships, peace, calm. Goddess in your third eye. Om Shrim Brazi Shri Swarna Varahi Devyai Namaha. Feel her rooting out scarcity consciousness, poverty consciousness, like laser surgery, removing it from your brain, from your memory, in your body, your mind, your soul. Om Shrim Brazi Shri Swarna Varahi Devyai Namaha. Be alert. She's golden, dazzling, sparkling gold, gold, gold. All throughout the whole body, pouring gold consciousness, gold light all around you. Om Shrim Brazi Shri Swarna Varahi Devyai Namaha. Om Shrim Brazi Shri Swarna Varahi Devyai Namaha. You begin to feel you're merging with the boar head. You are the goddess Varahi with the boar head, the tusks, the body, the gold consciousness. Om Shrim Brazi Shri Swarna Varahi Devyai Namaha. Om Shrim Brazi Shri Swarna Varahi Devyai Namaha. Om Shrim Brazi Shri Swarna Varahi Devyai Namaha. Internalize the goddess. You are the goddess Varahi, Shrim Brazi, prosperity, golden energy, rooting out scarcity consciousness, poverty consciousness, I'm not good enough consciousness. Gets rooted out. Aum, aum, om, 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 om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment, peace to the world, peace to the universe. And just let go, keeping your eyes closed. Make an internal prayer to Dr. Pillai for connecting your soul to these cosmic events, these beings who can support you hereafter. As you dive deep into the solar eclipse energy, summer solstice, new moon, the ancestors, the divine beings, the planets, enlivening you, enlightening you, making you to feel prosperous no matter what. And slowly, slowly come back to yourselves. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So thank you so much for joining those of you who need to go. Have an amazing Father's Day weekend, honoring your father, whether he's here on the earth plane or other planes. And then God bless. We'll see you when we see you next. And then those people who are going to be here, we can have a look at the chat and see what people's experiences are or were. Very welcome. Mary saying, Brahi is very powerful. She stole my heart. I love her so much. Great. It's interesting. People say, well, why can't I just close my eyes and pray to the divine, and then the divine will just hear my prayers and everything will work out and I'll evolve and I'll have everything that I need. And it's interesting because it depends on which tradition you've been raised in. You may have that kind of experience, or you read the different texts and you experience, so, okay, well, maybe it's just all an illusion and everything else. But as Dr. Fly shares, and it's a persistent illusion. You can kill yourself, but that's not a good idea. So you don't necessarily have to die to go and experience these divine beings, because on the other side, as the masters have said, you got to find out who's on the other side. So your ancestors are on this other side. Whether you believe that or not, it doesn't matter. They are there. And we never will believe anything until we actually experience it. So we don't have to die to experience this. We don't have to physically die, although it will feel very painful sometimes, especially during eclipse times where we're releasing all these emotions and our body is aching, because it's trying to crack open like an egg. It's trying to crack us open so that we can be literally born into this spiritual realm and be prepared to receive these blessings. So having the experience of merging with the goddess Varahi and loving her, at first I was like, a pig head? Okay. And then I went, oh yeah, well, I'm just being pig-headed about that pig head in my judgment. So it's actually these different images that get revealed to us. It shows us just how limited we are in our understanding of the world and beyond. And, just like we were raised in Star Trek, we kind of go, oh, that's not true. But then we become Trekkie fans for like decades. What? How does that happen? Or, all the Marvel comic movies. We can totally relate to those cool guys who go into an Incredible Hulk, from a human to this, wild guy, 10 times the size. So we can believe that, or we can get into that energy. We don't necessarily have to believe it's true, but we definitely are moved by it. And that's what we want to do, is we want to get our mind so disbelieving that it gets confused and it sort of goes on to the, do whatever the mind does. It thinks about 35 to 50 thoughts a minute. That's like a thought a second. How can you even think about the divine if you're thinking all mundane thoughts for all that time? Well, you don't have to think of the divine too long, because the divine speaks in symbols, and it speaks in sacred geometry, and it speaks through omens, through animals, through nature, through these archetypal beings. So no need to, scratch your head too much about it and be like, what the heck is going on? Why am I doing this? Why can't I just close my eyes and it all works out? Well, I'll just ask you the question back. How is it working for you? So just try to align with these divine beings, because they're readily available. And they don't belong to any tradition. You don't have to sign up for them. They're just part of the spiritual realm. And then Dr. Ply will wake you up to the blessings and that energetic shift inside of you, especially now. So Tamara is saying here, Profoundly powerful and yet beautiful unconditional love. I am so thankful my body is still vibrating. So that's how we know these divine beings came in. That's how we know, oh my God, this is for real. So we want to know a reality while we're here in this worldly reality. It is a reality. It is real to us. We have to know how to navigate it with more grace and ease and speed. We don't want to wait 10 years from now to get that beautiful home and car and look at these uncertain times. Are we going to even be able to qualify for a bank loan? So we don't want to think about all that. That's karma. So we want to ask these divine beings, hey, come, I'm going to sing you a song. I'm going to say your password. I'm going to focus my attention on you. I'm going to participate in feeding you or honoring you or giving you whatever you need, just like other people and yourself or ourselves. We have to feed ourselves, put a roof over our head. We have to have certain things in life to make it more convenient for us to navigate this earth plane. So these beings are saying, well, this is what I need. I need you to sing to me. I need you to put me to work, and then I'll be your bestie. So that's what it is. It's a universal law to honor these gods, these divine beings, these goddesses. And then it doesn't take too much to do it. And then they will come. Oh, they're all around us anyways. So they just need you to give them permission to come and to go and do the thing. And that somebody was saying, well, Sucharita, how do I make sure that I'm successful in life? And I thought, oh my God, I send Ganesha every day that I'm going to have a meeting or something important going on, or even just to start the day, I will just say, okay, Ganesha, get me off the bed so I'm not creaking and cricking and, oh, my body. Because as we age, it's like, what the heck? I used to be able to just spring off the bed. And I can still spring off the bed, but I send Ganesha ahead of time and say, clear out the congested negative energies inside of me and all around me, and help me to, spring off the bed, meaning have the energy to get up and be pain-free or relatively pain-free. And that is letting go of the ego, because the ego says, no, I don't believe in elephant-headed beings who have a pot belly and ride a mouse. That's just ridiculous. So you will come to love them, and you will come to understand how they will navigate for you and go do the thing. And you're just like, oh, what's next? What's next on my agenda today? So great that you're vibrating. Thanks a million to you and Babaji. Lovely. Even though I was raised in a Catholic country, Renata is saying, and by a Catholic family, I've always felt drawn to and fascinated by these gods and goddesses, Ganesha, Varahi, Lakshmi, Vishnu. And I can relate to you as well. I was raised in that too. And I was like, if there's somebody with an axe or a spear or some trident, it was like the devil. And what are you doing? That's devil worship. In fact, that's what when I started studying with Dr. Pillai, my family just thought I was devil worshiping. And I was like, oh my God. So you keep your spiritual practice to yourself. You keep it very intimately. It's a very intimate connection to these divine beings. So how do we know? Why are we here? Because on some level, maybe in previous lifetimes, and maybe this is your first lifetime with Dr. Pillai, you're resonating with that energy. So what is energy? It makes you to think a certain way. So the thoughts will come to you. I'm curious about these gods and goddesses. I don't know about them. And then that starts to get revealed, and then you are in their consciousness and not there in your consciousness. It would take you lifetimes to study it all. So being with Dr. Pillai is like fast, 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 fast. So he will give you that experience just in this short period of time. You're filled up. So you've filled up your spiritual gas tank, so to speak, or your energy tank. So you're full. So then you put this fullness of being to work. Where? Clean up my life. I cannot do this without your help. I'm going to take the steps. I'm going to do what I need to do to help show you financial issues, to show you the relationship, to show you that I'm going to hand over all the problems. I'm going to go do what I need to do, speak to an advisor. I'm going to speak to the people who I need to speak to, get forgiveness, clean up those relationships. I'm going to speak to my ancestors by offering the Tarpanam. I'm going to, be able to use your intelligence, all these divine beings, to come move through me so that I don't have to speak too much and I'm just being there, and then things are happening in a beautiful way and an adventurous way. So let's see what else is being said here. I'm raised in a Hindu family, but I came to know the importance of archetypes through Ply Center. Oh, see, there you go. So, and I've met so many people over the years because I've been traveling back and forth to India every year. I spend some time there, a few months, and I will go to the temples in various parts of India, and I will walk in and people will see me and they will go, "Oh my God, you know so much." And I'll be like, "Not really. I think you guys know more than me, but there's some energy that they will want to be around." And of course, it's Dr. Ply's energy, and it's activating as I'm doing the mantra or as I'm doing the prayer or giving the offering at that particular temple, at that shrine where the deity is. There is a communion going on, and anyone in that area, they will feel that they're in that vortex and be like, "Whoa, who are you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just offering a banana and some fruits and saying the name of, this is the password. I'm supposed to connect with this divine being." And so it's like, the more you know, the more you put in the space, the more you don't know, and you just are present to this, and you're like, "Whoa, what is all this?" Then you start to feel on a whole different level. And then things start to happen. And then everyone around you is like, "Oh, they're all lit up." So that's kind of fun. Shishma is saying, "Today I did Tarpanam 108 times. Yes, took Dr. Ply's challenge. I finished 20 times, got up to change the water bowl, and the phone rang, and it was the person who owed me money called me. I quickly jumped in the car, got the payment, came home, and finished the rest of the Tarpanam, the 88 Tarpanams." That's fantastic. So that's what it is. The divine will just put you in the right place at the right time, thinking, saying, and doing the right thing, meaning that you're doing your practices that are purposeful for you. You're not just hoping it all works out and wondering or believing or disbelieving. That is irrelevant. So use your own experience as, "Hey, this is my body, my mind, my soul that I landed here on the earth plane, and it's grown to be looking like this now. From a baby, like, look how much that's transformed." And as it continues to transform, all the transmutation is going on because there's some animation inside of you, some life that keeps growing and expanding, and then it becomes your guide. Like Shishma is saying, congratulations, going and getting the money, not waiting, go now. And then coming and doing your spirit, finish it off. So there are no hard and fast rules with Dr. Ply. He wants you to experience, when you do this, expect a miracle and then complete it. So awesome. Kelly's saying, "How do I honor my father who abandoned me and my family over 40 years ago? The hurt is still there, though not acute." Well, Kelly, I can totally relate to you too. And I just had a conversation with my father, and he thought our life was pretty good. And so I just said, "Okay, cool. Why do you want to get in that story? Just honor it." That's what he remembers 50, 60 years ago now, right? So if you want to get into all the hurt and the pain, then you can, and go deep into it until you're just like I was. I can't do it anymore. I can't go deep and feel that hurt and keep opening and opening. It has to heal. So you'll get to a point, and perhaps these divine beings, and then doing your Tarpanam, you can ask the ancestors from your father's lineage to just come and heal that. Even though he may never change, you may never change, heal the congested energy around it. That's how it is. So honoring just means to you just show respect, even if you don't like the person. You just show respect. They're a human being. How do you do Tarpanam 108 times? Aruna is saying. You can just offer the Tarpanam practice one right after the other. So you put it in your hand, you do your prayer, offer the water, put it in a bowl, pick it up some more, do it again. So it will take you, I don't know, maybe some people can share if they did it 108 times. I think it takes like about 15, 20 minutes. They can just do it quickly. Was that helpful for you, Kelly? And then also just remember, when we're on the spiritual path, whoa, that pain feels like it's like searing. It's like we can't let go. So you might need, as Dr. Playa shared, we're here to guide you spiritually, but you might need at this point in time, you might need some counseling or some advice from a trusted family member or someone else, where maybe you did that before and it didn't work, or it only worked at a certain level. Maybe this is the time. So how do we know we're evolving? If we just keep going, we keep trying, we keep honoring that person as a soul. And in fact, my sisters, what we were WhatsApping, we're on a WhatsApp group, and my sisters are like, oh my God, you're so brave to talk to him. And I said, well, love is greater than all of us. So this is the whole thing with love, is you don't have to wait till the end of the life and say, oh my God, love is theirs. Like, love is all you need, not just a song. It's not a cliche either. It is. So we will feel like we're faking it, but then there will be one point where, of course, I would love and honor this person who's struggling right now, and he just needs to hear from one of his kids. Whatever his memory is, fine. You don't have to get into it. You just say, okay, are you doing okay? You just went through a tough time. What's going on? And just a few words, that's all it was. And then divine intervention was like another call came in for him and he had to go. And I was like, okay, see ya. So, and then when I went on to the WhatsApp, I just said, well, this is what it is. Love is the law of life. So just practice it and just be detached from it. And then my sisters replied back and they said, my God, that's awesome. I agree. I'm totally up for that. So they switched from, being all afraid and angry and upset and all this other stuff that they were saying on the WhatsApp. And then it was just like, I don't know. It was actually a message that came in a yogi tea. You have those little messages. It said, love is the law of life. Okay, perfect. Click, picture, put it on WhatsApp. Then everything shifts. Shishma is saying it took me 2 hours for 108 times. I had a large empty bowl, rinsing it, large bowl full of. Well, sometimes it does take you longer because guess what? You are doing it. So you're experimenting with it and you're feeling the ancestors. So the time can fly by, but you look at the clock and 2 hours has gone by. It can be someone like myself. I've been doing it for 20 some odd years and it's like fast, 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 fast. So it can take me a shorter period of time, but intense, like very focused. It's like anything we do in life. When we do it repetition, 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 we practice life. We never master. Even if you feel like you have, oh, I'm a master of something, you're still practicing because you're going to master something else. Okay. Are there any comments or questions or shared experiences other than what you've posted here? Shushi, see you later, Shushi. Good evening and good night to all of you, and many thanks for the great meditation and all. And this is what it is. Dr. Ply's energy is pulling all our souls here, and literally. So there are no physical boundaries, even though we live in different countries and we live thousands of miles away, different time zones. Our soul is vibrating with a level of consciousness where Dr. Ply can work with us. And then collectively, we create a network. So I thank all of you, everyone here that comes and they just say, hey, we're going to just kind of hang out for a little bit. We'll go on a little mystical, magical rocket ship ride and see what the cosmos is showing us. And, we don't have to be astronauts. We don't have to qualify. We just have to be showing up. And then the divine will bring that energy to us, that intelligence to us. And it will wake that up. And then we will just be radiating that out. And who knows what's going to happen. So it's wonderful for everybody to come together. And I couldn't do this without you. So I'm very happy and grateful to Dr. Ply for saying, hey, go do this, because we've been doing it, coming together every Saturday or Sunday when we had Sundays with Sucharita, and we flipped it to Powertime practice on Saturdays because of a time slot difference. And now we're here in a different time slot. So we're moving, we're evolving, we're shifting, and just be flexible, be open, and the divine will just keep this intelligence moving along. And as we are facing really challenging times, we don't have to get sucked into the vortex, or as things come up for us, we can hear from other people and be inspired by other people. You too can come out of your harms and hurdles and your deep-seated pain. I remember deep-seated pain of relationships breaking and disappointments and all that. But do I remember it now? Oh my God, it was just, wow, that was intense. But I can't feel that intensity anymore. And thank God, it was killing me, and I couldn't move forward. I couldn't break through it. So having been, as a human being we're here to experience all emotions. So we don't get to have we don't get to leave. We won't want to leave in this lifetime without going right into anger, go right into depression, go right into, frustration or joy, happiness. All those emotions are so yummy, and they can help to be the fuel for our inner transformation, and then also to be able to evolve and relate to every other human being as we go along, and then be that support for those who are really needing it in the world. And that's kind of cool to live for that purpose. And we don't have to necessarily have our own YouTube channel. It can just be, I'm out in the world and people are like, oh my God, you're radiating. How come you're not tired? How come you're not, worried or anxious? Or, oh, what? It's a beautiful day. Got my little puppy here. You're appreciating life, and then it gives them permission, if they need it, or some other way of being. Oh, they can explore that, and that might wake them up. So we're here to, just like we were woken up, getting on this path with Dr. Ply, and it was painful at times, and it can continue to be as well, because we're continuing to evolve. So less and less, though, are we dragged down by it, dragged down by the suffering, dragged down by the dramas that are going on, and getting sucked into those dramas. The divine won't let you to. And then you'll just know everybody's going to be okay, and everybody is okay. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope this has been helpful for you. Shall we wrap it up? Are there any burning questions, shared experiences? I love the little piggies on the chat here. And that's Varahi. Varahi is the goddess of 2020. So go and explore her. Even if you feel like, nah, I'm not into it, you'll be amazed. Because I was like, really? But then all these other beings that I thought, really? And now I love them all. So you can keep exploring her energy inside of you, and imagine yourself with the tusks and with the snout, and the boar's head, and then just a beautiful radiating energy, and it's kind of ethereal, and it's moving through you, and it's rooting out. This is the big thing that was the big change for me, was I felt scarcity consciousness leaving me. I can't even explain it, but it felt like it was being rooted out of me. It was getting to the root cause. So yeah, there were tears. Yeah, there was pain. Yeah, there was like, what the heck am I doing? All that kind of doubt and but then as I went deeper, you can take the Varahi course. It's offered through Ply Center Academy, and it's Dr. Ply initiating you into the goddess Varahi. OMG. It was just like, whoa, now I really feel this is for real. And I feel all that poverty consciousness leaving, and not only feeling it, the money started coming in. Opportunities to make more money started coming in. And these are all uncertain times. How is this happening? The goddess Varahi. So the more we resonate with these beings and the more we let ourselves go, get out of our ego's way that wants to just edge all this stuff out. It wants to just push it out and say, no, 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 no. That's really weird. And that's going to do what it's going to do, and let it. But then you just dive into it anyways. And then getting initiated into with Dr. Ply into the goddess, you will be like, oh, and I was thinking, what? It's for real. So it will root out that scarcity consciousness, poverty consciousness. I'm not good enough. I'm not educated enough. I'm too old. I'm not young enough. I have no experience. I cannot speak to anyone. I'm afraid. All that it's just like a wave just goes, and like a tsunami, it just hits you and just washes it all away. And you go, oh, what was all that all about? So explore it. If you can participate in those services, I highly recommend it. Get into the Ply Center Academy Varahi course. Get initiated by Dr. Ply. She's the goddess of 2020. So why wouldn't we want to know, hey, who's this party all about this year? So DB is saying, I do my Tarpanam on the rooftop in the morning. Is it okay? Absolutely. If you can do it on your rooftop, fabulous. Great. Okay. So let's get on with our day. Have an amazing rest of your solar eclipse. And then also summer solstice, the new moon, blessings from the ancestors, blessings from all the planets who are in retro, helping you to go inside and look in to all the stuff that you've inherited, whether it's your own thoughts or your ancestors' thoughts or behaviors or mindset. And you just say, okay, planets, go look inside and clean all that up, align with this cosmic energy. I'm going to be going into a deep meditation. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to be playing all my different courses, the different meditations, one right after the other. And of course, listening to Mrityunjaya or chanting it. We'll just see. It's going to be a party. It's going to be lots to do. And that will help to make the time go by during these eclipse hours. So God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining. And we will see you when we see you next. Namaste.